Imagine being handed a massive, beautiful piece of land, but ignoring it completely because you are obsessed with finding a shortcut to getting rich. This is exactly what happens in our story about a man named Ramanatha. He was the son of a rich landlord and inherited large tracts of land, but he didn't spend even one single day looking after it. Why? Because he was absolutely obsessed with a funny idea. He believed there was a magic potion out there that could turn any object into gold. He spent all of his time trying to learn about this potion, and even though people cheated him often with false promises, he refused to give up. His wife Madhumati was tired of this obsession and deeply worried that his constant spending would soon leave them completely without money. But one day, a famous sage named Mahipati arrived in their town. Ramanatha became his follower and desperately asked about the potion. To his absolute shock, the sage said yes. The sage claimed he had heard how to make it during his travels in the Himalayas, but warned that the process was very difficult. The sage gave Ramanatha a specific mission. He had to plant a banana plant, water it regularly with his own hands, and collect the tiny drops of morning dew from its leaves during the winter. Once he stored exactly 5 liters of this dew in a bottle, the sage would chant magic words over it, turning it into a potion where a single drop would change any object into gold. But there was a catch. Winter only lasts for a few months. Ramanatha realized it would take him years to collect 5 whole liters. The sage brilliantly replied that he could plant as many banana plants as he wanted to speed up the process, but he absolutely had to look after them and collect the dew with his own 2 hands. Determined to get his gold, Ramanatha went home, talked to his wife, and immediately started cleaning the massive fields that had been lying empty for all those years. He planted rows and rows of banana plants, tending to them carefully. Every winter, he meticulously collected the dew, while his wife Madhumati gathered the actual banana crop and sold it at the market for a very good price. Finally, at the end of 6 incredibly long years, Ramanatha had his 5 liters of dew. He rushed the bottle to the sage, who smiled, muttered something over the water, and handed it back. Ramanatha eagerly sprinkled a few drops onto a copper vessel, waiting for it to gleam yellow. To his massive surprise, absolutely nothing happened. Furious, Ramanatha accused the sage of cheating him, crying out that he had wasted 6 precious years of his life. But sage Mahipati just smiled and called Madhumati forward. She walked up holding a big box, and when she opened it, it was filled with shining stacks of gold coins. The sage turned to a very confused Ramanatha and revealed the ultimate truth. There is no magic potion that turns things into gold. The real magic was the hard work Ramanatha put into creating the massive banana plantation, combined with his wife selling the fruits in the market. The sage explained that he had to play a trick on him, because if he had just told Ramanatha to work hard in the beginning, he never would have listened. Ramanatha finally understood the deep wisdom behind the sage's words. From that day on, he stopped looking for shortcuts and worked even harder on his plantation. This beautiful folk tale written by Sudha Murthy reminds us of one timeless truth. Hard work is the only real magic there is.